comes to Valentine's Day, like do women try to present themselves a little bit more than a regular day, do you think?
I think generally probably so. Yeah. I mean, and I don't even know if it depends like on if you're single or married. I feel like
Mm.
honestly, if you're married, you might put on a little less than if you're single. Not all of us, but the
You talking
same,
makeup or
right?
clothes or
Like,
both?
I mean, hopefully a little bit
Oh,
of both, right?
oh, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Okay. It took 2 minutes for this to turn.
That's what they love about us.
I know, I know.
No prude conversations here.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Like when I talk to like my male friends, they say that they don't care about the wrapping. It's always what's underneath. Like the
Really?
lingerie, the makeup, yeah, yeah. And I find it interesting because women think we care, I guess, about the lingerie, the makeup, the hair. I guess we do
Yeah.
to a certain extent, as long as the woman's presentable, she doesn't look like like Igor with the humpback. You know, shout out to those who have humpbacks. I'm not saying that, we don't date humpbacks. I'm just giving an example, right? I'm just walking into madness and putting my foot in my own mouth on Valentine's Day special here. But
No
yeah,
particular reason. It was just a random word that came to the
yeah, it was
mind.
just a
Okay.
random words first thing that popped into my mind, right? I was just curious, like, do women actually go all out? Because I see like, because you and I both active on Facebook and social media. Like I see all the like the galentines and I see some women are like, this is what I'm wearing tonight. And I'm like, it's literally could fit in your one hand. Like, what does it actually cover?
Okay, so here's the question though that I have about that, and I guess this kind of helps me with my answer because I don't just do things like that on holidays, right? So
Hmm.
I guess I guess what word am I looking for? It depends. If you do things like that on a regular basis, then you probably wouldn't do it on the holiday maybe because it's not like a isolated practice. But for some people, maybe it is just like a special thing because my husband and I, we still go on little dates. I
Hmm.
still, wear little things and, so it's like, it's not just something that we do on holidays, you know? So I guess it just depends what your practice is. If that's something that you don't do other times, then yeah, you probably do put a little more effort into having a little less
Hmm.
on during
Yeah,
specific
okay.
times.
Yeah, because here in Canada, there's a holiday every month. Is that the same thing in the States?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
you're probably doing it once a month at least. At
Yeah.
least.
Unless you're like, I only do this on the big holidays. You only gonna get Christmas, Valentine. Is Thanksgiving a thing that people do that? Why not? Dress up in brown. I don't know.
A family holiday wearing lingerie? That's kind
I
of
mean, you're gonna go
crazy
to
right
bed
there.
sometime that night,
You want
right?
some turkey? You want some
I don't.
potatoes? Cheeks all out. Well, she can
I
cook.
don't mean like wearing it at dinner, but if it's just the two of you, you could, right? Why not?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little
husband and wife or
turkey and some
whatever.
yams.
Want some gravy on this biscuit? Yeah, I hear you.
Right,
Okay, I
right.
hear you. Okay, okay. Yeah, so the big one. So Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. That's it.
Yeah.
You
Wait, why
know.
are we dressing up on Mother's Day? That's our day. We're not
Well,
dressing
the
up on
men.
Mother's Day. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
men.
Y'all
Yeah.
can dress up on
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, like role play. I think role play probably be big on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The
Like,
police
wait,
officer,
do
the
you mean like
firefighter.
I'm pretending? Oh, I was in a whole different space. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. Share what's on their mind. Like that's what I would
Mine was
think, right? Like you would have whatever the fantasy is. I don't know. I'm old. Like whatever the fantasy is. I'm gonna be Coach Terraine today. Like tell me your issues.
Oh God. Now, thanks for the idea though. Now I got some new ideas. It's okay. We got Father's Day, Mother's Day covered. And then other holidays we could like color coordinate, like Thanksgiving, brown, whatever you want to wear. A brown nightie. Christmas, red, green,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day pink.
Yeah, yeah, that
I'm
that
just
would
giving
be
everybody ideas.
Yeah, I'd love to know like which month has the most babies born and trace it back to one of those holidays.
Okay, I've heard this before. I feel like September is a big month. So what
So
that
that'll
would
be New Year's
be,
baby.
oh yeah,
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 Christmas, New Year's, right? Yeah. Okay.
September. But my kids were all born like different times, you know? So I
Well,
don't
sex
know.
doesn't stop.
Oh well,
Yeah, right. Yeah, we have to keep that in mind
everyone
too, right? Yeah.
only does this on New Year's. That's it. No other time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a continuous. Well, I hope. I hope it's a continuous thing, okay? That once a year, that Al Bundy, Peggy Bundy sex. December 24th, let's go. You ready? You ready? Let's go. I'm just hoping it's continuous throughout the years, 365 days. I'm not saying it has to be 365 times. I'm just saying, give me 300. 300's fine.
Right. I guess that's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I was watching, I saw a clip, this old show, King of Queens. Do you know that show? Kevin
Oh
James
my
and
gosh, yes. It's hilarious.
yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're talking. It was the two wives, Deacon's wife and Carrie. I'm guessing that's the
Yeah.
name of Doug's wife, right? I forget the Deacon's wife's name. I do apologize. And they're talking
Yeah, I don't
about how
remember.
since they both were laid off from their delivery job, and then Deacon's wife's like, "Oh, we're going through such a hard time. I'll be lucky if I have sex once a day." And Carrie's like, "Once a day?"
To say.
And she was like, "Oh, sorry." Because Carrie's face just made her realize that she's not definitely not getting it once a day.
Right. She's like, wait, that's the standard?
I know. She's like, I'll be lucky if I get it once a day. What were you getting it
Right.
before?
Right.
While he was working. What were you getting it before while he was working?
Yeah. No, I mean, before work, after work. I
During
have a
was your
friend.
delivery, right?
I have a friend who has told me. I have a friend who she, was kind of venting to me one day, and she's like, every, well, I guess he works 5 days a week, so at least 5 days. I don't know about the 2 days a week that he's off. But every single day when he goes to work, before and then that same night, so at least 5 days a week, it's going down twice.
Oh, wow.
Look, I'm not saying that's the standard. So if you're listening, it's okay that that's not happening for you.
But is it a standard that you want? That's the thing. I do want that standard.
Right. You know, I
I work
can't
from
put too
home,
much
so I
out
can
here, but
definitely do that.
right, right. Yeah.
But I'm thinking like when I'm intimate or have sex afterwards, do I want that face on camera? The
Mm,
post-sex face. The post, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, do you want that face on camera?
right. Well, I mean, hopefully you're like, I don't know, we're very big on like cleanup,
Hmm.
and this is something that I teach my teenagers, my, all of my kids except for my youngest, obviously. But it's something that I teach my kids as they get a certain age. Cleanup is very important. So, toothbrushing, washing, and all these things. So, I mean, I would say yeah because I'm refreshed after anyway. But I don't know. And
Yeah.
then it depends on like how much work are you putting in. If it's like a 30-minute thing, maybe not. You know what I mean? But if it's like I don't know, 5, 10 minutes, then you get yourself back together and ready to go.
Yeah. Everyone watching this, like, do you know the average sex is 5 minutes? And we're talking about 30 minutes here.
Right.
People are like, 30 minutes, girl? What are you talking about? How do you get 30 minutes? Well, you
You
don't need
know,
to know those secrets.
I
Yeah.
guess,
You don't need to know those secrets, right? I
we
agree.
can't talk
I
about
agree. I think cleanup
everything.
is no, I think cleanup is very important. There was someone I used to work with in retail. She her relationship ended actually, I think around this time, around Valentine's Day, and maybe like in January. And she was with that person for a number of years. And what she did is after that relationship ended, she went on like a rampage. Guys at the gym, guys at the grocery store, whatever. I remember one day she came into work and she was what is she? She's from Europe somewhere, right? She comes in this bright Jamaica t-shirt. We all look like, where the hell did she get that from? So she walks in. Walk of shame, right? She's starting work in like zombie mode. All of a sudden, people are like, "You smell like Badussy, booty, dick, and pussy," right?
Oh
And
no.
now the funny part is now that she, it's clear, right? Seeing her in that Jamaica shirt, we know that she took the shirt from the guy's closet and then came into work. So when we talk about sex before and clean up, please, ladies and gentlemen,
Right,
clean up.
right.
Remember where you put your own clothes. I don't even want to know what happened to her own clothes that she couldn't wear it, right? You know, I guess it was a really good night and
I
her
mean,
clothes
she
is,
did
you know,
clean up. She put on a fresh shirt. What more do you want from her, right?
I just got laid. That's what that Jamaica shirt said to all of us in the store that day. Just I just got laid.
Uh-huh.
Right? She was out of control. She was out of control. It's like sometimes when and you probably talk to people like this. Sometimes when they come out of like a relationship that was very not abusive, but it was just like very stressful. It just took so much out of them. And then
Yeah,
part of their recharge is that they recharge through people. And she just went crazy with it.
yeah. I mean, I've I've been there to an extent, not like just ran through, but like, you have a marriage that
Mhm.
fell apart, or you have, a relationship that was really solid and it didn't work out. I also had sexual trauma very young in life. So I already had this conception that sex was controlled by men. And so, going through kind of a period where it's like, no, I'm going to take that back. You inadvertently kind of do a little too much sometimes to gain control. But, we talked about that briefly in a different
Mhm.
episode. But I've been there at a point where like, no, I'm going to control how this goes and I don't want anything serious. I, not to say like having sex with multiple people in the same time frame, but I had kind of friends who I just, all right, that's, we just did what we did. And I don't want a commitment to you. And I'm not going to ask you if you want one to me because we're just going to
Mhm.
say that that's, you know what I mean? So, not necessarily, like I said, like getting ran through, but I can understand taking this period after to say, you know what, I don't want anything serious. I just want to do what I what I either felt was done to me or what I whatever I want to do and not have to answer to anybody, but still be clean and space things
And
out and
safe.
all that.
And
But
safe.
yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I wonder, like, just to just the build up for, let's say, February 1st to February 14th. I wonder how many people are going to fall into that trap because the
Mm,
marketing is just crazy, right? Like, you
yeah,
don't want to be alone during the first two
yeah,
weeks of this month. Like the 15th and onward, who really cares? Even though it's like a
right,
full month of love.
yeah.
Um, I think, right? I'm just looking at how many people. Like, I've been to the grocery store and I heard people talking, like, when you're just passing, you overhear a conversation. Like, what are your plans for Valentine's? What are you gonna do? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to be alone. Like, I'm hearing those types of conversation. Whereas in January, they're probably alone for the whole month. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we could get so deep into this, we don't have the time. But we know what that stems from is that societal expectation to not be alone, and even so deep as like I've taught all my children, you don't have to get married, you don't have to have kids, and I don't mean like just go be sexual for the rest of your life, but I mean take your time. I got married at 19. Take your time, go to college, travel, do the things you want to do as a single woman, a single man, whatever the case may be, and live your life. And if you want to get married or if you want to be in a domestic partnership, whatever the case may be, if you want to have kids or if you don't, cool. But there is, this societal expectation, which I think that it's evolving a little bit. Because there are people like me who don't believe that you have to get married, you have to, and you have to do this not long after you finish high school or college. So, you got to go to college, you got to get married, you got to have kids. And I think that luckily, and I understand the benefits of the structure, right? I do understand, the nuclear family structure and everything like that, the benefits of being married, but I also know that the likelihood of you being with this person at 45 that you were with at 17, eh, and have a healthy relationship, never been cheated on, and any, crazy things like that, like this flawless. It's just not the world we live in anymore. So there is a high societal expectation, but you don't have to follow it.
Yeah, it's a little, it is a little tough. I wish people would take the first 25 years of their life to do more than just school.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish the things
yeah,
that I learned from traveling, now that I did it, let's say in my mid to late 30s, I wish I learned that a little bit more in my 20s. It's just I didn't have the resources, the time, or even the money to do so. So
yeah,
that's tough. But I was living on my own at 18, 19. For those who are still able to live at home until 25, I wish they would see more than their city, more than their province or state, or definitely more than their
yeah,
country, right? But see
yeah.
it in a healthy way. Don't see it over there to be like, oh my God, spring break, let me go wild. Yeah, let's do a little bit
Yeah,
more. But I absolutely agree. And I think it's unfortunate that so many people struggle with loneliness around the times of, let's say, Valentine's Day and Christmas, for example, since we
Christmas.
didn't touch on both,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I agree. But I think the Christmas expectations, because Christmas, Thanksgiving, these are all family holidays. And so if it's just you kind of feel like you're missing out because the holiday is directed at families. But that's not even realistic either, because we know, if you are religious of any sort, if you celebrate Christmas and it is through a religion, there is that focus, right? Whatever the religion may be around that time, there is a religious focus. So, you're not alone in that aspect. There's people like you who also celebrate that religion, who have that belief system, and it's about that story, and then if you aren't religious at all, Christmas is more fun and commercial, and like there's that aspect too. It's really a shopping holiday. um, so I don't know. I just, like I said, I think that the societal expectations, they're still there a little bit, but they are evolving and changing, and so that's really beneficial to people who don't feel like they fit or don't want to, because I celebrate Christmas how I celebrate it, even though I was raised religious, like Christianity taught me and my family Christmas is about Jesus' birth. I don't fully celebrate it that way. I also incorporate other things. It's like, but I am a family person, so I don't know if I was single, would I? Maybe I would, focus more on like, and same with Valentine's Day. My daughter, she went to a Galentine's party yesterday. No men, just a group of girls celebrating their friendship, So yeah.
I think for 2027, one of my goals, and maybe like we can jointly do this, is that for all those who are without a person on Valentine's Day, just hold like, what do they call them in the States? I think mixers. Just bring people together. Bring the
Yeah.
single women, bring the single men, just for
Yeah.
a conversation. If sparks fly, right? Because at the end of the day,
Right.
we still want to be around people, even if it's not a romantic sense, right? We still want to spend time with people. You mentioned like women have Valentine's Day and men have a version. I forget what it's called too. So it's just basically people coming together and saying that, hey, you don't have to be by yourself
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and it's on a Saturday this year too, right? So that's kind of cool. Like Saturday
Yeah.
night, get to party a little bit.
Yeah, my daughter has a volleyball tournament in another state. So, I mean, she's single. She's gonna be celebrating Valentine's Day with her team, So that's really cool too.
Yeah, yeah. I bought myself a bear. I don't know if you saw it. I posted
I
it. I bought
saw,
myself that.
I did.
Yeah.
I assumed it was a gift.
No, I bought it for myself. I was in Walmart one day and I was like, I want this. I'm gonna go get another one later today. I want a different color.
I love it. I love it. Oh, you should have set it in the background.
I know, I know. I may have to do an updated picture or video. I love it actually. I think it was like $30 and I was like, this is like cool, you
Not
know.
bad. really big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big bear. Like my dog saw it and she was like barking at it because now there's competition in the house, right? So, speaking of love, she's like, "You don't love me anymore. You got some replacement." I'm like, "It's not even real. Calm down."
It's not real.
It's not real. It doesn't even move. I'm like, "You move. I have to feed you, walk you,
Right.
burp you, bathe you. It's like a baby at 10 years old here."